Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of To Be Real. I'm your host, Charm. My real name is Tara Terrell, but I just go by Charm. First of all, I wanted to wish you guys a happy new year. It is January 1st, 2025. I know it's been probably about a year since my last episode, if not more. But I'm back today. I was so inspired, so excited. I was making my little New Year's resolutions and I was like, wait, I am the absolute worst at keeping my New Year's resolutions. I don't know what it is about it. I just fall off the bandwagon. And this year I came across a new tool, a new way of doing things, a new perspective on beginning New Year resolutions. And I was so excited to share with you guys what I've learned, things I've tried before that may have not worked for me, but may work perfectly for you. And just talk a little bit about building the positive momentum in your life in order to actually be able to change your life and create the reality of your dreams. Especially if you've been in a place of feeling stuck and stagnant, I do think personally that this little method is going to be life-changing for you. First, let's talk about new beginnings. Yesterday or before yesterday, I was listening to a podcaster that was talking about new beginnings, and what she said about new beginnings was so powerful to me. And so I wanted to delve in a little bit into that first, and then I'll share with you guys what I was genuinely so excited to share about. But I felt like this was such a good preface to everything that I want to talk about. And it was talking about new beginnings, and she was talking about how you are the new beginning. Every single moment is an opportunity for a new beginning. You don't have to wait for the beginning of a brand new year, because things on your external don't change until things on your internal change. And that happens when you decide that, okay, I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to take responsibility for creating the life of my dreams in tandem with the universe. I'm going to create this new beginning for myself starting in this moment. And so in that way, you truly are your new beginning every single time. But I understand there is something so exhilarating and exciting about having a brand new year and just being like, okay, this year, January 1st, 2025, or whatever year you listen to this to, you're like, this is the year and I'm going to start fresh. I'm going to start doing this January 1st. This is what I want to do. You have your vision board ready. There's something so exciting and empowering about feeling like you have a fresh start. And so while every single moment is an opportunity for a new beginning, I encourage you to use the momentum of the excitement around a fresh year, a brand new year, the beginning of a new year. I know a lot of people say the opposite and really encourage you to begin today. Maybe it's like November and they're like, don't wait till the new year, just start today. And I agree, truly every single moment, every single day, there's an opportunity for you to be your own new beginning and to have that day be the beginning of the rest of your life or the beginning of you doing something new or something different. However, there is absolutely nothing wrong with the idea of waiting for the beginning of the month to allow that momentum to build, because there is already that ingrained idea of a fresh start. So whichever way you decide to do it, whether you decide that your new beginning is today, I mean, it's kind of hard because today, the day that I'm recording this, is January 1st. So it's today is your personal new beginning, but it's also the beginning of the new year. But if you listen to this 6 months from now and it's June, July, whatever, today can be your new beginning. But if you're listening to this, hopefully January 2nd, I plan on having this out. If you're listening to this January 2nd, allow yourself to use the momentum and the excitement of a brand new year to get excited about doing something differently and about holding yourself accountable to having the best year of your life, or just the most productive year of your life. And by productive, I don't mean accomplishing a million things. While that is a symbol of productivity in today's society, I mean productive in the sense of you learned, you grew, you expanded mentally, spiritually, physically. Make this the best year for you in terms of how much you invest in yourself. Because I promise you, when I saw the most momentum in my life was when I just decided and committed that I was going to get healthy. I was like, okay, I'm going to start working out. I'm going to start eating better. And then there was just such momentum around doing something that was good for me that just made me want to do more. There's so much that comes into your life by prioritizing your well-being, prioritizing yourself. When you prioritize yourself, the universe kind of unfolds for you and your desires are more easily attracted to you. And I personally think it's because the universe understands that there are perfect times for you to begin things. And it's not because of a certain date. It's not because it's, June 27th and that was the day that things were going to align for you because of the date. It's because you finally learned what you needed to learn to be the person that could now embark on this journey, or that could now receive what they've been manifesting or waiting for or working towards, because you've now become the person that can manage that can handle that. And so when you start prioritizing yourself, it's almost like you put yourself on the fast track to that date of being ready, because the universe wants what's best for you. And so why would it give you like the desires of your dreams, things that would genuinely be like part of your legacy, part of like everything that you desire, if you are not in the right mental space to enjoy it, to appreciate it, and to show up as the best version of yourself, as the healthiest version of yourself, as the most clear-minded version of yourself. And so there's something about getting yourself in this state of prioritizing yourself that makes the universe be like, okay, she's ready. She's not just like running on the hamster wheel of like, what can I achieve in this world? How can I climb the corporate ladder, whatever. She understands that they are the greatest project that they will work on in their entire lives. And so now they're ready to like begin whatever other thing that they would like to focus on. And so that's the big part about prioritizing yourself. So if you're not really sure where to start in terms of your New Year's resolutions, or maybe you just like don't have like the clearest picture of what your long-term goals are, start with prioritizing some aspect of yourself: mentally, spiritually, physically. I think those are the top three. Mentally, physically, spiritually. Is there one more? No, I think that's it. Okay, mentally, physically, or spiritually. Okay, now moving on to really large goals. And this is common knowledge. This is not what like dawned on me, but the best way to attack a large goal is to break it down into smaller goals and smaller steps. I don't know if you've heard the saying like, how does the ant eat the elephant or something like that? Okay, that's definitely not what it is, but like, how does something small like eat something that's ginormous? And it's one bite at a time. So you take it one step at a time. The Great Wall of China was built one brick at a time. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm pretty positive it was built one brick at a time. And so the concept for revolutionizing the way you create your long-term goals is to break your year down into quarters. We have exactly 12 months in a year, and that is 4 quarters of 3 months each. Yeah. The first 3 months is the first quarter, the second 3 months, second quarter, the third 3 months, third quarter, and the fourth 3 months, the fourth quarter. Sorry, that was like, it just felt like too many thirds and threes and whatever. Anyways, the idea is to create your long-term goal of where you want to be by December, and to break that down into smaller short-term goals depending on the quarter. So in the first quarter, you're going to only focus on reaching this milestone, this like large stepping stone that would eventually add up with the rest of the quarters to lead you to your bigger plan. And so you create quarter one and you break down the small daily activities and schedule or things that you need to accomplish daily, weekly, etc. to accomplish your goal in 3 months. Because I don't know if you guys realize it, but 1 month flies by. The older you get, the faster the time goes by. I feel like last year was so fast and slow, but mainly fast. Like, I don't know what's happening to time. Actually, I heard that like obviously like time is relative to like how long you've lived, and so every year becomes like a smaller fraction of how long you've been alive, and so it seems to go by faster. But I don't know, time is also an illusion and just a matter of perception. So I think that also has something to do with it. But a month just does not feel like enough time. And so giving yourself 3 months to focus on a semi-large goal just feels so much more attainable than trying to create a huge goal to reach by the end of the year that you kind of could get lost in or lose momentum in and just like kind of lose that excitement for if you just place that goal so far away. We are goal-oriented creatures. Like, we want a goal that feels attainable, that we can just like be so excited about, but most importantly, something that feels attainable. And so if you say something like, I want to lose 120 pounds by the end of the year, and you're like, okay, let's do it. There's something about that feels so incredibly far away and so incredibly unattainable because it's such a large thing to do that you're so intimidated by the idea of having to tackle this huge goal of losing 120 pounds that it's so easy for your mind to create a million excuses and for you to just like slowly be less excited and slowly feel less motivated and slowly feel less capable of achieving this goal. But if you decide, okay, Q1, I want to lose 30 pounds. And what does that mean? I have to be losing approximately 10 pounds a month. Okay, so I kind of want to be losing 2 to 2.5 pounds per week. And you're like, okay, I can do that. I can lose 2.5 pounds. Like, that could be a matter of eating healthier, going to the gym. But you realize that by setting these smaller goals, you no longer have to focus on like this huge daunting task that is like looming over you that you want to accomplish, but just like feels like way too much. You can break it down to things that let you know that you are on your way to your goal while still making it something manageable and like bite size, and while giving yourself something to look forwards to and put all of your energy and effort to for a doable amount of time. 3 months goes by so fast, but also so slow. It's like the perfect amount of time, honestly. And so if you're looking to tackle a really large goal, I feel like that's the best way to do it. So that is something that I tried before, and I feel like it didn't work for me because I get bored so fast and so easily. Like 3 months is not a bite-sized, manageable amount of time for me to dedicate my undivided attention to somebody. That is still too much for me. So if 3 months is just too long for you, we're going to focus on 30-day challenges. That's it. Because right now, the priority is you learning to trust yourself. You want to build this like self-trust of like, okay, I've seen myself do this before. I've seen myself decide something and commit to it and achieve it and feel that sense of fulfillment and excitement and that sense of like, just like that excitement of like achieving a goal. So because these 30-day challenges are not necessarily for you to accomplish like a really large goal surrounding maybe career or weight or whatever, because it's simply about learning to trust yourself and practicing being committed to something small, these 30-day challenges are just supposed to be fun. They're not about you achieving some sort of like actual goal. The goal is the process. The goal is the excitement. The goal is doing something for 30 days to build the trust in yourself, no matter how small the goal is. And so try not to confuse the two. The first one about quarters and breaking down your large goal into much smaller goals is about going after a very specific long-term goal. These 30-day ones are not for that at all. I'll give you guys some examples of the types of things that you can do, but I genuinely just need to emphasize that because when I give you the examples, you're gonna be like, okay, that just like doesn't seem like a big deal. It's not supposed to be. These are supposed to be things that build positive, joyful momentum in your life. And so what you're going to do is you're going to sit down and write down 12 things that you feel like would be like genuinely exciting for you that you would enjoy doing every single day for 30 days. It might be journaling every single day. It could be drinking a cup of tea every single day, like your favorite cup of tea, and like just being there, being present for that experience, meditating for 10 minutes every day, maybe doing like a yoga class or like following along on a yoga video every single day. It could be going on a walk every single day. It could be taking a picture every single day, like a picture that you really love, or like making a TikTok every single day. Something that you like to do, maybe have wanted to do or have done in the past, and just like notice like how fun it was for you, but you just like, I don't know, do it sometimes. Like journaling, I love journaling, but I go through periods where like sometimes I do and sometimes I don't, and then things get really, really bad and I'm like, I gotta get back to journaling. And in those times, like I always think like, why don't I just keep journaling? Like I do enjoy it. Like why do I wait for things to be like really horrible for me to begin journaling? And so this is kind of like a time for you to do those kinds of things that you maybe do to make yourself feel better. Maybe you do art and that are therapeutic to you that you want to start doing. And you make it a 30-day challenge to be committed to for 30 days, like for your own well-being. You could do your affirmations in the mirror for 30 days, like literally anything, but something that you are excited about. For me, things that I'm excited about have to do with reading. They have to do with spirituality. They have to do with exercising and being more committed to my physical health. But if for you, the things that excite you and drive you have more to do with like cooking, or more to do with creating, or more to do with spending time with your family, write down things that genuinely feel like inspired to you, and you're like, oh my gosh, no matter how small it is. Like the idea of just like drinking a cup of tea, like that seems so little, but that's literally taking a moment to be intentional, to like really ground yourself in your senses, to be in a state of appreciation and gratitude. And what I want to tell you guys about these ideas and these inspirations that come to you is that is how your higher self speaks to you. When people talk about taking aligned action, when you are trying to manifest something, they come to you through inspiration and excitement, these like little nudges of like, oh my gosh, like it would be so fun if I did that, like oh my gosh, like I would really enjoy doing that, and you're like so excited about the idea. Those are nudges from the universe. That is your higher self guiding you to things that would be so beneficial to you. And so you can trust that these ideas that come to you when you're writing these like 30-day challenge goals, they are inspired by your higher self, because it knows where you are right now and where you are relative to the dreams that you have and who you truly are meant to become. And it is always doing everything in its power to get you closer to your fullest potential, to the most empowered version of you. It wants to help you. It's on your side, and it wants to meet you where you are. And so the wonderful thing about these little goals is that even though they don't have a long-term goal behind them, they do. Like they actually do. And I'm like a little hesitant to tell you guys this, because I don't want you to do this for the sake of reaching that goal. I really just want you to do these things for the joy and the pleasure of doing these activities. But I'm going to tell you anyways. But I need you guys to like promise me that you're not going to focus on this. Focus on just having fun. But the reality is you are a vibrational being. And so when you begin practicing a vibration, you are going to attract more of that. And so if you start practicing the vibration of showing up for yourself, this sense of accomplishing things, this sense of doing something that you genuinely love just for the sake of doing it because you love it every single day. If you just like focus on like doing these rich, fulfilling activities, you are going to have the most magnificent year of your life, because you are going to build so much momentum in this energy of doing something that you love, something that feels inspired, something that puts you in a state of flow, something that feels like a breath of fresh air to you, something that feels grounding to you. You are going to invite so many more things into your life, whether they're people, ideas, experiences. You are going to invite that frequency into your life, because the universe doesn't give you what you ask for. It doesn't give you what you want. It gives you more of who you are. And so to practice being in this vibration of bliss, in a sense, you're going to attract more of that. And so whether you accomplish something that's like really incredible as a result of putting yourself in that frequency at the end of this year, or simply making it to the end of the year and being able to look back and reflect and being like, oh my gosh, every single month I set a different 30-day challenge to do something that I really loved, and I filled every single day of this year with an activity that I loved. you are going to feel so accomplished and so fulfilled because you poured and invested so much attention and love and energy and intention into yourself, into doing something for your younger self, doing something for your inner child, doing something for your future self, because you are adding all of these things into your spiritual bank of just like feeling good. You're doing something for your present self because that's the version of you that gets to experience these wonderful things that you chose and that your higher self inspired you to choose, because it knew the type of effect that it would have on your vibration, that type of effect that it would have on your frequency, on the well-being of your mind, body, and spirit. So don't like look down on these as just like, you know, maybe not as important or just like not as deep because they're just like small 30-day challenges versus, you know, the 3/4 one that's like aiming for something big. Don't throw away the opportunity to just feel good without any kind of expectation of it leading you somewhere, taking you somewhere, changing your life forever. You're doing it for the sake of feeling good. I started this episode by talking about how you are your own new beginning, and I didn't mean for this to all tie in together, but with these 30-day challenges of just doing something that you love, you have no idea the type of new beginning that you will create within yourself, because you are experiencing and creating the frequency of love within your life, of joy within your life, of peace within your life, of practicing that every single day. You have no idea where these 30-day challenges, as minuscule and as like maybe pointless as they may seem, you have no idea where they could lead you in the long term, simply because you're practicing being in that frequency. Every single month, every single completion, every single day of you being dedicated to completing these 30-day challenges is you being your new beginning. You are becoming a different person every single day when you add another day under your belt of completing this 30-day challenge. And whether it's in 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 8 months, I guarantee you, I promise you, there will be a magnificent new beginning in your life of who you are, because doing these things has not only like changed you in a spiritual sense and vibrationally in terms of like raising your vibration, it's also going to affect that self-esteem and that sense of like trust and that sense of like, okay, I can look back to my past and see that I have accomplished things before, and so I know that I can accomplish things in the future. And that in itself is a new beginning. That in itself is a new version of you. I said that I'm going to do these 30-day goals because I'm not currently the type of person that believes that they can like just like do like 3-month goals, or that can attack like a really big goal. By doing these little activities that make me build that sense of trust and confidence in myself, when that sense is like cemented within me, I am now a new person. And I now have a new beginning because I am a new person. And so that's what I wanted to share with you guys today about creating goals, breaking down your goals, prioritizing yourself, and reminding yourself that you are your new beginning, whether you are listening to this January 2nd. And I want to put this out in January 2nd because I want to give you guys like the 30 days, like starting at the beginning of the year. The idea to do this episode just came to me today, but I was like, perfect. January has 31 days. So you still get your 30 days. But whether you listen to this January 2nd and you get those 30 days, or you listen to it in February and you begin your 30 days there, or in August, like it doesn't matter, because at any point you are your new beginning and you can create a new life for yourself. It doesn't matter where you've been. I saw this quote recently at this like burger shop, and it says something like, your past doesn't determine or dictate your future, it merely determines where you start. And I was like, yeah. Yeah. And so if you can find it in you to truly, genuinely let go of the past, leave 2024 in 2024, leave 2023 in 2023, and decide, I am my new beginning today. Whenever I'm listening to this, I am a new beginning today, and I'm going to start loving myself in the purest way possible by investing a piece of each day to pouring into myself, by doing something that I love, doing something that feels aligned, by doing something that makes me feel so good about myself. I promise you, you will have the best year of your life. I gave you guys a lot of different ideas on the types of things that you could do for your 30-day challenges, but I would genuinely really like to, at the end of every month, tell you what my 30-day challenge was and how it helped me grow, how it changed me, and just what it was, to just like talk about the experience. And I would love if you guys also share the ideas of what you're going to put on your list, what you feel inspired to do. Take action on the inspiration. Like if you listen to this episode and you're like, yeah, I like that, I could do that, like take the next inspired step and sit down and create a list of 12 things that you would like to do, and you can be lenient with it. Mine, I wrote down what I wanted for every single month, but at the top I was like, these are interchangeable. Like I'm going to do the one that I feel the most excited about doing at the beginning of the month. And so if I do the one that was meant for December in February, it doesn't matter. It's just about choosing the one that fills you with the most excitement, because again, source, your higher self, it knows what you need next, and it's going to tell you that through your greatest excitement, through inspiration. And so that's the only thing that you're going to really be paying attention to when you're writing what your challenge is going to be about, or when you are deciding the order in which you're going to do your 30-day challenges. That is all I have for you in this episode. Thank you so much for listening. This has felt so refreshing and so good. Like I picked up a microphone to record an episode for you guys maybe 2 months ago, and it was like fun while I did it, but once I got to editing it, I was like, I can't post this. But today has just felt so good, and this episode felt so inspired. Like I'm genuinely so excited to share it with you guys, and I will do everything in my power to get this to you by January 2nd. And honestly, I usually like lose my train of thought, and I think Source was like, no, this needs to be out by tomorrow, so let's do minimal editing. Like we're just gonna talk, and like you'll have to edit out a couple of things, but the priority is to get this out to you guys. And so I'm really thankful I'm really thankful that this was like just like an easy flowing conversation to have with you guys, because that kind of guarantees that by tomorrow you guys will have this episode. So yeah, that is the end of this episode for real. And I will see you guys again soon. Happy New Year.